Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Live. I'm your host, Giovanna Burgess-White, with my co-host.
Hello, I'm Yvette Valdenegro.
And we're super excited to be on our second part of our Spring Fling mini-series. But if this is the first time you're watching us, welcome. We are live every single Wednesday. And if you don't want to watch us, then you can listen to us every single Friday on
Who
all
wouldn't want to
podcasts.
watch this, Gio?
I know. Well, some people like to listen in the car. I'm like that too. Like if I don't catch the live, it's really hard for me to catch a replay. But I love having I have 5 podcasts, 3 audiobooks, always ready to go in the car because I'm driving all the time. So for me, podcasts are life. So welcome. We love talking about relationships on this podcast. Yvette and I are both relationship coaches. We really help women with just building the relationship with self, creating a life they desire. So welcome to part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, go back. It's tiny, but it does build on itself. And we will be talking about the relationship with yourself this whole month.
Woohoo. And we titled it Spring Fling because if you're listening now, it's spring. If you're listening during the winter, listen, spring always brings about the idea of something new, fresh. We've gone away from the winter, we're the dark, dreary days, and it just tells you something new, something's beginning, something's growing. And fling, that's the excitement part of it. Like the butterflies in your stomach, that you might have, or just the excitement of things that are new. So you put those two together. It's just being excited about you again, who you are as a person. And we also love this too, because listen, everything we do, no matter what relationship you're in, no matter what your career, your job, your partner, your kids, your friends, your family, your phone time, everything you are having a relationship with starts with you, begins with you, is around you. Common denominator, you. Can't get away with it. It's you.
Yeah. If you get anything from this series, it's just put yourself first. I know it sounds like, oh, that's so easy. It's not. It's taken us years, but it is a ripple effect. When you put yourself first, all your other relationships fall into place. So we can get started with our little visuals because we're visual people. Boom.
Boom. Which we talked about this last time. So this is kind of just a recap. What does it really mean, right? This is the new beginnings of life, love with yourself. And I love this because I'm amazed at how many years I wasn't putting myself and I was not in love with myself. So this is the start of the new beginning. Also a sense of shedding the old and seeing the seeds start to develop. Man, again, love this too. It's like a snake. Every season, a snake sheds its old. Why? Because the new vibrant colors, the new skin comes out. You want it to be new. And rising up and showing the new self to what has been dormant. Crazy enough, but we've been asleep. We have been asleep at the wheel of who we really are. And we've woken up, or we're waking up, and we're now showing the old what is going to be new.
Yeah. Go back to our last episode because we gave you really good examples of this. All right. Oh, we still have one more. There's a desire in us for more, and realizing more comes from within. Yes. Comes from us. So common denominator here, you. So relationship with self, empower your inner connection. You want to do relationship?
Yeah. So we always talk about what is really a relationship. A relationship is when 2 or more things, objects or people, are connected. It's really just the state of being connected and how you're relating to one another, how you're behaving towards that person. You feel an emotional connection somehow. And that's why we always use the phone. The phone is a great example because you go, well, here's my phone. And then I can literally say, well, I'm having a relationship with my phone. It gives me a feeling. Sometimes it makes me happy. Sometimes it makes me frustrated. Sometimes I want to throw it out the window. And sometimes I get excited when I see, oh my gosh, that's my daughter calling me, right? It's an emotion. I'm having a relationship. I'm connected. And guess who you're connected to the most? Self, me. Yep. I cannot get away from me. I've tried. Believe me, it doesn't work.
It's the one you're connected with the most, but it's the one that we don't have a relationship with. So that's why we're talking about self, the identity, character, or essential qualities of. So again, if you're getting anything out of what we do in this series, is how are you building and cultivating a relationship with yourself? What does it look like? But more importantly, what does a good and healthy relationship with yourself feel like?
Okay. And you know that word character?
Yeah.
Character really is just meaning your thoughts and your feelings that are creating your behaviors. That's what character is, who you are, who you really are, because who you really are is made up of your thoughts and your feelings. Okay, so empower. I love this because really the title of our series right now is Empower Your Inner Connection, right? So what does it really mean to empower something or someone? To give you the authority. Oh my God, I love that. Because somewhere along the line, I know for myself, I gave my power back to someone else. I gave my authority to other people, beings, entities, concepts. I lost it. I lost my own power, but I've gained it back to empower myself. And it also means to make someone or something or me stronger and more confident, especially in controlling my life and claiming my rights. It sounds, sometimes people mock this word right now because the whole empowerment, a woman's empowerment. Yeah, you can mock it all you want, but at the core of what it really means, it just means taking it back, having the God-given authority that you have, and to find your confidence again. And especially in controlling that you do, this is what we love about teaching what we do. We do have the ability to control our life.
Yeah, I think you said it. A lot of people are like, oh, this word, but we just did an empowerment series, like our empowerment session series with almost 600 high schoolers, juniors and seniors. And man, talk about a generation that's definitely bringing this word back to life because they are all about authority, all about the relationship with self. And we're just learning. I mean, I know we're learning from my kids, but man, it's just been such a great word to bring back to life. And they've taught us so much. It was a couple of weeks ago now at the Giving Gown, but I'm super excited because I feel like it's even like stronger now that we're teaching it to our clients and just looking at forget the word, just look at the descriptions, look at what it means. I mean, that's just a lot. Confidence, I mean, yeah, gaining confidence, and goes back to what we're talking about. This you, nobody else. No one. You shouldn't find empowerment from someone else. You have to do that for yourself. So love the word.
Yeah. And over time, we were raised and brought up in society's world culture, however you want to say it, that power was stripping away. Someone else is taking that from you and making your own decisions. And you're conditioned to believe that someone else can do that.
Yeah.
But no longer. Okay. Connection, the relationship in which a person, thing, or idea is linked or associated with something else, which again goes back to what we're talking about with relationship. You're in a relationship with yourself. You're connected to yourself first and foremost. And then that connection relates to people, things, ideas, concepts, work, whatever around you. But again, it begins with yourself. That's why it doesn't matter. Someone can say, oh, I'm on this weight loss journey, or I want my business to grow, or I want to have a better relationship with my partner. Those are all great things aspiring to have. But again, the common denominator in all three of those examples is it begins with yourself. Who are you? Right? Do you know who you are? That's the relationship part of it. Do you even know what you want? And then yourself, who are you? That character, your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Do you have that power? And then, or are you creating the power? And then those connections are all streamed through that.
Oh, it's my favorite.
There she is.
There we are. There's all the hers, all the she's. I love it. So this is you. This is our visual of why it's super important to have the relationship with yourself and connect. Really, what does it look like, feel like, and why? If you don't start with you at the core, there's way more relationships in your life, but these are like the most important relationships won't fall into place. We will always be unbalanced. Yeah. So I'll start with the first layer, time. Everybody always says Geo has way more time, more than 24 hours in a day. I don't. I just have a really healthy relationship with me first, how I want to feel, what I want my like simple day in, day out to look like. And it revolves around time, right? So I have a healthy relationship with it. I love it. I think we have so much of it. And that really does help me with business, like business and life. This should be flipped, but unfortunately the graphics don't have it the right way, but life work balance, right? So life comes first, then work. And a lot of, we've been taught that it's just like we don't have enough time. We got to work really, really hard, and work comes before anything else. So this is kind of like my favorite part of the pyramid.
I love that. And I love that it's organized, because let's just be real. The problem usually is self is at the bottom,
Yes.
and every single thing that is listed there is completely overtaking, overpowering, and frustrating the heck out of the woman in the
Oh, you know what we should do? We should make it and flip it. Like we should do the same thing and flip it. Like this is what you should be, but then like turn the triangle around and be like, but this is where you're at.
but this
All
unfortunately,
these things first. Yeah.
yeah. Because again, and we call that anything that, there's a separation, we call that the gap, right? The gap between where we are in our relationship with ourself first and how we're connected to all of these items on the screen. There's a gap. It's not healthy. It maybe stresses us out. There could be a lot of, anxiety going on there. It's brought down just who we are, like the empowerment side of it. We've lost the power in the thought process of we can be creating the life that we really want to create, which is real.
Yeah. And that's where like people are like, oh, I put my family first, or I put my kids first, I put my spouse first, or even if, women who are just dating, it's like, oh, that is not healthy. And, or my friends, or it could be extended family. It could be, community is on there for a reason. Sometimes we're like, that's one of the things that we need and we don't have time for. So it's just like all goes back. Like you have to have a great relationship with time in order to fill up your cup and what you need. Because if you're doing too much of one and not the other, you're never going to be able to have this balance. And that's important. People are like, oh, I can only do this. No, you can actually do it all. You just have to be really great with having the thoughts and the feelings that you want first, because that's all you're doing is teaching every other person and relationship in your life. You're leading by example. It all, like we've talked about all the time, it falls into place naturally. You don't have to work as hard as it, and then you don't have the negative feelings of always being tired, always being overwhelmed. It happens all the time. Like you're in a conversation with with a friend or with your family, or you're at an event, but you're not really there. Like that's the worst. It's like, just don't go. But we're conditioned and trained like, oh, we got to put everybody else first. So we're going to challenge you to be her. And what does it feel like to put yourself first?
Yeah. And that's the whole reason why we're here. If you feel like I don't even know what that means, guys, I have no idea where to even begin. I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't even know, how do I even know what I want?
Yes.
That is a real thing, because if we've been asleep, if we are not awake to our wants or desires because we've been years just going through the motions, that's a real thing. And we completely understand that. And that's why we wanted to do the series. Definitely start at, if you're just catching us now, then start with the first episode. There's going to be one more, and go through it. And then you are obviously more than welcome at any time to reach out to us, connect with us, and have a call, because we want to talk about it.
Yep. We have our link anywhere that you're watching or listening. You can click on our complimentary virtual connect. You do a really quick intake form, and we just let you have 30 minutes of talking about what it is that you think you want. If you don't even know what that is, we're here to help you. And we thank you for watching us. And if you're watching us live, thanks for being on. And if you're listening to the replay, we still answer questions in the comments. So please make sure you reach out to us. Until next week.